Have you ever wondered how we piece together the stories of these ancient worlds? I mean, how can we really know anything about people who lived thousands and thousands of years ago? Well, sometimes the biggest clues come from the very ruins they left behind. So let's dive into how a forgotten city, found completely by accident, can totally rewrite history. Okay, picture this. A couple of kids are playing near this crumbly old building, a place they call the haunted house. But then some adults walk by, and they see something totally different. They don't just see a ruin, they see something incredible. One of them actually says, "Look at the architecture." Another points out the fine wood carving. They see a story that's worth saving. So why would anyone care about an old, rundown building? Well, it's because old buildings, even the ones that are falling apart, they have stories to tell. And that's exactly what we're going to explore today, but on a much, much bigger scale, with one of the most mysterious and advanced civilizations of the ancient world. Our story doesn't start with an archaeologist carefully dusting off some ancient relic. Nope, it starts with a cloud of dust from something else entirely, a brand new railway line being built. This is the story of Harappa, a city that was lost to time and then stumbled upon completely by accident. This story this timeline tells it's pure drama. So think about it. 4,700 years ago, this city is a bustling, thriving metropolis. Then, nothing. Fast forward thousands of years to about 150 years ago. Railway engineers in Punjab, in what's now Pakistan, they find this mound just full of what they see as perfect, ready-made bricks. They carry off thousands of them, nearly destroying the site to build their railway track. It was only decades later, around 80 years ago, that archaeologists finally showed up and realized what had been found, and almost lost forever. This wasn't just some old mound of dirt. It was one of the oldest cities ever discovered in the entire subcontinent. So, what secrets did the ruins that were left actually hold? Well, it turns out this wasn't just any city. It was basically a masterpiece of ancient urban planning. A lot of these Harappan cities, like the famous Mohenjo-daro, were split into two main parts. Over to the west, you had a smaller area that was built up higher. We call it the citadel. This was probably the VIP section, the administrative or religious center, with all the important public buildings. Then to the east, you had the lower town. It was much larger, and it's where most of the regular folks lived and worked. It's such a clear, organized plan. And this right here just perfectly illustrates the skill of their builders. The bricks weren't just dried mud, no, they were baked until they were rock solid, which made them incredibly durable. And get this, they were laid in an interlocking pattern, which made the walls super strong, so strong that they've managed to survive for thousands of years. It's just amazing. Up on the citadel in Mohenjo-daro, archaeologists found this incredible structure they called the Great Bath. It's this massive, watertight tank. It's lined with brick, coated with plaster, and even sealed with a layer of natural tar to keep the water in. You've got steps leading down into it from two sides, and rooms built all the way around it. The best guess is that this was some kind of ritual space, where important people would take part in special ceremonies. But the genius-level planning didn't stop there. Just look at this. A super sophisticated network of covered drains running along perfectly straight, planned-out streets. Every drain had a gentle slope so that water could just flow right away. And what's really mind-blowing is that it seems like the houses, the streets, and the drains were all planned and built at the exact same time. That kind of coordinated civil engineering, it suggests a really powerful central government and an amazing focus on public health, which was pretty much unheard of for its time. Okay, so we've got these incredible, really well-planned cities. But who were the actual people walking these streets? What was a day in their life really like? A Harappan city would have been a buzzing, complex place. You probably had rulers, the ones who planned these huge construction projects and sent people out to find precious metals and stones. You had scribes, the people who knew the secret of writing and made the city's important seals. And of course, you had tons of craftspeople, men and women in workshops and homes, making everything the city needed. Travelers and traders were always coming and going, bringing back raw materials, and you have to imagine stories from faraway lands. And the things they left behind, they paint such a vivid picture of this life. I mean, on one hand, you have this absolutely stunning stone statue of what must have been a very important man. You can see his carefully carved beard and his embroidered robe. But then on the other hand, you've got these simple, charming little toys made out of terracotta. It really shows us that this was a complete society, with powerful leaders and skilled artists, but also with families and with kids playing in the courtyards. All right, let's dig a little deeper into the stuff they actually made. Because every single bead, every weight, every seal, it's a tiny clue that helps us understand their world. These are probably the most famous Harappan artifacts of all, the stone seals. They're usually rectangular and have these beautifully carved animals on them. But look closer, right at the top. You see those little symbols? That's their writing, and we'll come back to that in a minute. The Harappans were also master artisans. They created absolutely stunning jewelry from materials like carnelian, which is this beautiful red stone. The whole process was so painstaking. The stone had to be cut, then carefully shaped, polished to a perfect shine, and then, get this, a tiny hole was bored all the way through the center so it could be strung into a necklace or a bracelet. Just imagine the patience that took. Even something that looks as simple as these stone cubes tells a huge story. These are actually weights, made from a type of stone called chert. Their precise, uniform shapes tell us there was a sophisticated system of trade and measurement going on. They were almost certainly used to weigh valuable goods, like precious metals or gemstones. So we've uncovered so much about them, their incredible cities, their amazing skills, their daily lives. But the biggest secret of the Harappans, well, it's one we still haven't managed to unlock. And we're back to the seal. That script you see at the top, that's the earliest form of writing ever found in the subcontinent. It's their actual voice, reaching out to us across almost 5,000 years. And we can't understand a single word. Scholars have been trying for decades, but the script is still undeciphered. We can see their cities, we can touch their tools, but we can't read their story. It just leaves you with this profound sense of wonder, doesn't it? Just like that old, rundown house in the beginning of our story, we can see the incredible architecture, but we can't yet hear the voices of the people who live there. It really makes you wonder what other stories are still buried out there, just waiting to be read.